All right, welcome everyone. This is Kevin Hurley. I will be your host today for the Trade Findings and Adjustments on Thursday morning, the 19th of March. I've had this up a little bit about short interest and so forth, and the reason why is I have been trying to track this blasted coronavirus. And as I was looking at the coronavirus and how many updates of things that are happening and so forth, if you notice, the U.S. cases last night were up to 2,800. At 1 in the morning Mountain Standard Time, we had 5 deaths. We're now up to 10. And basically, in 2 days, we've doubled our count of those that are sick. As Keeve and I have talked, our question was, well, are people becoming more susceptible to understanding what's going on? Or are we going to come back on Monday with it being 25,000 people infected? And when people forget about it over the weekend and this number pops up to 25,000 on Monday, are we going to get hit with a wave of more selling and the world's going to end, we're all doomed to die, and we're done? Our market takes a huge drop. So, as I'm trying to do my research, I pulled Keeve aside this morning and said, hey, I'm worried about Boeing. And I'm worried that Boeing's fallen below 100, but it actually is bouncing back. Let's see where it's at right now. $99.89, so it's doing its best to hold 100. But as I went through some of the numbers for Boeing, I took a look at the short interest. Can someone tell me, when you see a short float above 1%, what does that mean? What does that mean when you have a short float above 1%? No one knows? What does it mean when you have a short float above 1%? Abraham, I think you would know. Mary and Lance, what about you two? Rich, I see you there. Lee? There you go. Perfect. In fact, a couple of comments have come in. Let me see what the other comment was. The other comment said, I don't know. A greater than, so I should put it like this, what? A greater than plus 1% short float indicates bearish sentiment, but a huge amount of shares that have to be covered and can be an indicator of a short squeeze. For those who don't know what a short squeeze is, a short squeeze occurs when short sellers try to cover short positions, thus driving up the price of the stock, or they call it demand. The trigger for a short squeeze is usually a sharp rally in the stock price as the result of unexpected positive news. For example, short positions could increase for a company that has reported losses recently. However, the company suddenly reports better than expected earnings or receives a takeover offer, or new investor demand for the stock could result in a price rally. Short sellers then have to cover their short positions to cut their losses, which would drive up prices. For those that don't know too much about short selling, what most people do, most people say, hey, I'm going to buy a stock, sell it at a higher price. For those that are doing short selling, the process is reversed. Hey, I'm going to sell the stock at what I think is a high price and try to buy it back or replace those shares that I've sold at a lower price. So it's the same concept, buy low, sell high. It's just a reversed order. Again, most of us buy low, sell high. We buy a stock at a low price like Boeing at 100, hope to sell it at 300. Some people do the order reverse. They sell it up at 300, hoping to buy it back at 100 so then we can make $200 on the way down. I've got some information in here for you, but I'm obviously worried about Friday. Friday is the day of reckoning, right? Come on, learn how to spell, Hurley. Quadruple witching. Quadruple. So, are we going to have a sell-off to clear the books? That's kind of normal, right? Or are we going to have a short covering rally? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? If you're going to put your money on it, what are we going to do? So Rich asked the question, a less than 5% is just normal everyday behavior. When we're down to almost a 0%, you think that the stock's going to be a little overpriced and that you'd run into some selling. So here's what Keeve and I were doing. So I said, all right, Keeve, Boeing worries me. I am finally worried about Boeing, even though they're going to have some kind of compensation package and get through it. As I was looking on hand, income's down huge. They still have sales of 84.82 billion, way out there in time. That's okay. Cash per share is at $15. They still have $24 billion of cash on hand in some way, shape, or form. They seemed fundamentally sound to weather the storm. The storm is when they're going to be able to get their planes up and running. When can they be back into position? It's just, you know, a $10 billion loan from the big financial institutions, I was okay with. When I hear that they need 60 billion to maybe float through everything, I'm not okay with that. That now makes me worry. They have some issues that are deeper than where they're going to be. Abraham just said government will give them some relief to Boeing to avoid losing technology edge. Yes, in fact, Trump even said they're a defense contractor because they make obviously some of the Air Force planes and Air Force One. But still, 60 billion, 3 times the cash on hand, worries me. And then I saw the short float and I'm like, you know what? They are so shorted. In fact, if you follow that short float to, where's the share count? The shares above it, they have, in all honesty, a $562 billion short float, which is, and I'm sure there's some ratio somewhere, which is 7.5 times their market cap. They have a huge short rally, short squeeze rally coming up. It's got to be a big one. But then I was like, okay, well, what does that mean then for Ford? And I looked at Ford. Ford's short float is at 3.4%. 3.9 billion shares at a $4.50 stock price. Little bit better, right? That's going to be up to about 14 billion. But notice how that doesn't exceed their market cap. We have a good short squeeze rally coming on Ford. I checked GE. 8.73 billion shares floated at that usually almost 1%. 1% is a red flag. Hey, you got a short squeeze coming up in the very near future. At a stock price of $6.50 times 8.73 billion, we're talking about 48 billion. Doesn't exceed their market cap either. I started going through shares that we trade. Apple, over the 0.5%, but it's at 0.5% to 1%. You're going to have a short squeeze. The 1%, it's a dead coming up in the near future. 4.37 billion shares of Apples, short squeezed at 244 right now. Even if we said 250, still below their market cap. So Boeing's upside down. Boeing is just pissing me off. Disney, 1.80 billion shares of a short float against market cap of 184. It's going to get a short squeeze in the near future, but it doesn't exceed its market cap. Visa, you're like, Kevin, I get it. I know, but just listen to me. Visa, 1.69 billion, 1.55% shares float, doesn't exceed its cap when you add the price in there. So where I'm trying to go with all this, we have a short squeeze rally on the horizon. I'm going to call it the near horizon. When does it come and when do we cash in the protection? That's what we're up against. That's what we're up against on when do we do the best we can to take those profits. And in truly schizophrenic market fashion, wow, the Dow's going back down lower. I was rather excited to see a down day or an up day today that follows our pattern. Down day, up day today, so we could have a down day tomorrow. That would put my fears at ease. We look like we're having a down day, and that is a problem. A down day the other day, a down day today. The reason why I don't like that is because it ruins our pattern. Up day, down day, up day, down day, up day, down day, up day, and we had a down day with a big up day to finish. If we have a big up day tomorrow on Friday, I've got to cash everything in. I've got to reset positions and take profits off the table to then be ready for a kick you in the crotch down day tomorrow, or on Monday, excuse me. I like that we haven't gone down to the lows. I would feel better today if we might hold the lows for a retest tomorrow. But there is so much uncertainty. I'm sitting here scratching my head going, I'm going to not sleep tonight. And my day starts tomorrow at like 3:30 in the morning when I'm starting to watch Europe Open and trying to see where we're going to go. Rather shocking that obviously we're throwing the kitchen sink at this and Europe's throwing the kitchen sink at this. We are I shouldn't say Europe, but England, all up day they're doing rate cuts, they're doing quantitative easing, and it moved all of Europe today. FTSE right there, Europe, 1.3% up. Germany, the DAX, 1.59. France, 1.57. Who knows? Mark Cuban says bailed out companies should never be allowed to buy back their stocks ever again. That's kind of stupid. Buying back stocks is part of artificially inflating their stock price to make people feel comfortable. Well, Kevin, that's not right. That's not fair. Well, isn't bailing out a company not right and not fair either, that artificially inflates their stock price? Pretty hypocritical for the government to say, you know what, we're going to bail you out to artificially inflate your stock price somewhere where a company would typically fail, but you guys can't do it yourselves. That's crap. That's BS. So I don't know. We'll see. The short answer is we will see. We will see what happens. We will see what we'll see where we end up. When it comes to trades again, where is the trade? I think I put it in my little individual one. One that I've got to drain here very quickly. Spy Strangle, put it on yesterday. Surprise didn't get taken out today at 32. So it's going to be waiting for tomorrow to try to make some money. That's the short answer there. And if you're looking to place a trade, that would be the trade I'd be looking to do today. You get another strangle straddle on where you think we're going to go. The VIX is slightly up. SPX VIX is slightly lower. Any thoughts? It's a pretty flat day. I would feel more comfortable with the VIX being down 5 to 10 points and the S&P being up a percentage point so we could have our big drop tomorrow. That would be my comfort level. That would be where I would be looking to that's tomorrow's the big day. I guess to a certain degree, Abraham, today doesn't matter. Tomorrow's the big day. Tomorrow, do we consider lower? And where does that prep us for, where does that prep us for Monday? Will the coronavirus truly be important when we see the US cases go from 10,000 to 25,000 over a weekend? I mean, they're jumping up. So short answer is, doesn't matter to me today. Really, my concern is give me a bit of an update so we can have another down day tomorrow. So we can keep our trend of an up day, down day, up day, down day. So that'll give me some confidence tomorrow in holding stuff over the weekend and not feeling like I have to reset everything. Because we're going to have a horrific number for the we're just going to have a horrific number for new cases that come out, and I'm pretty sure the media is going to grab onto that like there's no tomorrow. Fear sells, and boy, it sells good. With that said, I guess I don't have a whole lot for you today. Any questions? Any questions you guys have? For me, it's a sit, pat, and hold day. Hope for a slightly updated day so we can have our big down day tomorrow, where I can hold that protection into the weekend at these higher elevated prices for a Monday down day. And boy, it seems like we're coming close to being at that percentage where the market is awfully dang cheap. And when the market's awfully dang cheap, you're going to see those short squeezes occur, and we're going to be ready for the markets to take off. We're going to be ready to see some things move in a direction that we can get that 41%-ish drop year to date, maybe a 35 year to date, but 41% from the highs, which is only just one more bad down day, 11% down day, and we're there. So that's where I'm at. Lance, so you're holding off today and making major decisions tomorrow, correct? Yes, that is correct. That's exactly what we're doing right now. And obviously the reason why, Lance, is if you go to what our markets are doing, I mean, they got no idea. Look at the S&P is now down. So the Dow's been up 220 points and down 50. And here we go into what I call the East Coast lunch hour, right? Probably going to drop down for the next hour. Maybe we'll see the S&P back down to 70. And then we'll see it bounce back up. I'm just really, if we could have a flat day to a slightly updated day, that better sets me in place for tomorrow at where I want to go to. So if that answers your question, let me know. If it doesn't, I'll give it another try. Steve, any comments or anything you want to throw out here? Should I unmute you to let you have a crack at some of what's going on and make a comment here or there? Type something in, say yes or no, and we'll go from there. All right, looks like Keeve doesn't need to be unmuted. All right, hey guys, have a wonderful day. Look to see some movement tomorrow, and we'll make some decisions. Stay well, and I'll talk to you. Keeve and I will talk to you guys Monday night. Goodbye, everyone.